Let's continue our journey through the book of Genesis, now entering chapter 15. In the previous chapter, Abram had just returned victorious from battle, rescued Lot, and been blessed by Melchizedek. But now, we move into something far more intimate and eternal, a covenant between God and Abram. The chapter opens with these powerful words, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." But Abram was troubled. He said, "Sovereign Lord, what can you give me since I remain childless? You have given me no children, so a servant in my household will be my heir." Then the word of the Lord came, "This man will not be your heir, but a son who is your own flesh and blood will be your heir." God took Abram outside and said, "Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them. So shall your offspring be." And then, one of the most profound verses in the Bible. Abram believed the Lord, and it was credited to him as righteousness. This moment would echo throughout Scripture, especially in the New Testament, where Paul uses it to teach about faith over works. God reminded Abram, "I am the Lord, who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land to take possession of it." But Abram asked, "Sovereign Lord, how can I know that I will gain possession of it?" God instructed him to bring specific animals for a covenant ceremony: a heifer, a goat, a ram, a dove, and a pigeon. Abram prepared the sacrifice, cutting the animals in two and arranging the halves opposite each other. Then he waited. As the sun was setting, Abram fell into a deep sleep, and a thick and dreadful darkness came over him. God spoke again, revealing a sobering prophecy. "Know for certain that your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and they will be enslaved and mistreated for 400 years. But I will punish the nation they serve, and afterward they will come out with great possessions." This was a prophecy about the Israelites in Egypt, hundreds of years before it happened. After the sun had set and darkness had fallen, a smoking firepot and a blazing torch passed between the pieces. This symbolized God Himself sealing the covenant. "To your descendants I give this land, from the Wadi of Egypt to the great river, the Euphrates." God's promise now extended not just to a son, but to a land and a legacy. Closing reflection. In Genesis 15, we see something eternal. God makes promises not based on human strength, but on divine grace. Abram's faith, not his works, is what made him righteous in God's eyes. And God Himself walked between the pieces of sacrifice, binding His word with fire and smoke. What stood out to you the most? The starry sky? The deep sleep? The promise of a son? Let's discuss in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for Genesis 16, where Sarai makes a decision that will shake Abram's household.